and that really bothered me. But this year, with all these attacks and the fact that Gascon is not prosecuting a lot of the crimes that happened last year in 2020 that, are in the pipeline, and, this criminal leniency, compassionate reform is what they call it, but really it's not very compassionate to victims. So that really propelled me to start this, and we're so happy that now we have a qualified petition, and we have about 5 months to get this out there and get those 580,000 signatures.
I've had a number of conversations on this program and others regarding the recall effort of Gavin Newsom. The reason I mention that is oftentimes we have a lot of emphasis on the recall itself, but not necessarily a ready alternative in the event that the recall is successful. And I don't know if that was considered then, so I will ask you that same question. Let's say you are successful. Are there any people on the periphery who would be a better option who are ready to go?
I am not allowed, as one of the official PACs, to endorse a specific candidate. But me as a person, I can say we have a lot of talent waiting in the 5 wings. Jonathan Hatami has been out there, as one of the deputy DAs, going out there and being a very articulate voice for for this, and also Jackie Lacey, our former DA that was lost by a small margin last election. She is another person that at least was tough on crime. So there's a lot of options out there. I'm not as worried as about having that candidate, because right now we need to educate the community about just how disastrous Gascon's policies are when he makes fun of victims and dismisses them, and then he dared call our efforts funded by a mega Trump donor, which I find really laughable, because you can audit my bank account. we're working on shoestring budgets here, and we're really in the community just trying to make people know just how bad his policies are and how it's affecting so many victims, especially our rally that we threw. We had 2 victims, Hispanic community that were they're survivors of family member that was killed through gang crime. And by getting rid of special enhancements, which is the DA's opportunity to come down hard on crime, by getting rid of that is such a slap in the face to those who lost a family member through a senseless crime.
I'm a person, in the interest of full disclosure, I empathize with this movement. I agree with this movement. But at the same time, I question some of the tactics which are being employed. We're going to have a very honest conversation. I wonder, though, about the wisdom of having this most recent, I'll say, gathering near the house of George Gascon. I understand it was legal. I understand you're across the street. But I also wonder about the optics which it may send, in the way that I was completely against the way Black Lives Matter showed up at the doorstep of Jackie Lacey. What have you been, here's my question. Do you ever wonder or worry about whether the things unrelated to the central issue might cloud the issue?
No, I totally understand, and that is a fair, fair point that you bring up. And ultimately, we did talk about that. This was not an impulsive decision to do this. We decided that to balance out the fact that we can't get our message out as easily as those on the other side, we decided to do this to get some media attention, to get attention to what's going on, and we did this in a very methodical and peaceful way. We worked with Long Beach police, who are very cooperative and made sure to protect our right to protest. Mm-hmm. And we also made sure to respect, the home and the neighbors, and we kept it short to just make the point and then get out and, let people have a peaceful Saturday afternoon. So we were definitely cognizant of that, and we had to balance the environment and the situation where people do not know just how disastrous these crimes are. We have Sheriff Alex Villanueva, who is a Democrat, that actually came out and supported this recall effort. And Alex, is supposed to be the person working closest with Gascon, and he cannot work with him. He cannot arrest these people, and then the the DA doesn't prosecute. For the average person, they just see it as a failure of law enforcement, and that is not, sadly, we have a public education campaign that we're doing, and we're trying to get the word out, and there are things to balance here, and I think we've balanced it very well, despite, maybe some optics that people may be uncomfortable with. But we achieved our purpose, and we will continue to spread the word in peaceful ways and in legal ways and also classy ways. So, thank you for bringing up that point, though, so I could explain our reasoning behind it.
Sure, and before I let you go, I know that this is going to be a slow and methodical process. You talked about getting the word out. We're a good 5 months away. But just top line for me, how well are you doing so far?
We're so happy with what we're doing, from the press coverage to, highlighting the victims' stories, such as Emma Rivas and Paulina, who spoke at our rally. But we are even more excited because June 19th, which is a few weeks away from now, is also Juneteenth. And we understand that the people that are most hurt by Gascon's policies are the African-American community. And our recent co-chair, who just signed on a few days ago, Harriet Reed, is a voice from the African-American community and in Long Beach, and her and I will be speaking at the Juneteenth event we're throwing at El Dorado Park at 11 a.m. on June 19th, a Saturday. Come out, join us. There's going to be a potluck. We are going to talk about things, and we're going to have the petitions also for people to sign. And if you cannot make it to that event, please go to recallgasconnow.com, recall Gascon now, because that is the urgency. We have to recall Gascon now. And the petition and all the instructions, because it's very specific, like the Newsom recall, they will throw out signatures that are not filled in properly. So there is a process to that. So please go on the website and download it and get as many signatures together. We also have about 15 cities and soon to be 18 cities that have voted for a no confidence vote on Gascon. And I was part of a lot of those efforts to talk to the city council members and show them the urgency, which they agreed with. So cities like La Mirada completely, overwhelmingly voted no confidence on Gascon. So all these cities are falling into place, and I believe this grassroots effort, which unites Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, is going to be successful. And I'm excited, KFI. Thank you so much for having us and highlighting the cause and waking people up and everything that you guys do. So thank you so much, Mo.
Marc, appreciate you, and also please stay in touch with us. You can come on with me anytime as we get closer to October as you move through this endeavor, all right?
Absolutely, Mo. I'll take you up on that.
All
Thank you, my man.
Absolutely. He is Marc, and he's at the forefront of the recall effort against L.A. County District Attorney George Gascon. We'll have more in just a moment. This is the Gary and Shannon Show. Mo Kelly here, KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the